Welcome to the Titan Ball. Hello. Welcome to the J.R. Hendrick Texan Gentleman, a podcast that deals with the early life of J.R. Hendrick in a narrated format. Welcome to the podcast where we won't bend and we won't break. And we must be a light to future generations. This episode has the Titans Ball, which is, it's the first time it's ever mentioned because, well, it's the first time that almost the whole Hendrick Swain Alliance family has actually been there for quite a while. Since 91. So, and that is pre-episodic. The Titans Ball had been around in Texas since, J.R., 1940. We even had them in the heart of the Great War. Of course, around that time, Mama and Daddy just kids. True. Now, you need to know that this is some pretty interesting stuff that we're going to be developing. Some of it is political, and some of it is business. And we want to hope that you guys can be able to hop on board and have a good time. I'm going to whip up a Sprite here in a little bit for me and JR, and we're going to have a sit down and talk business and family. Okay, so we cut to September 30th, 1 p.m. Central. The docks of Lake Allen Henry. And, you know, Carmen had taken JR to the docks of Lake Allen Henry, where he gets on Cora Coleman's houseboat. And JR is miffed. He's like, what the hell? We've had class together. Now, why'd you call me here? Business. I hoped you would see some, and Cora's like, business? I would hope you'd see sense in real life, you know, this girl is just wrong for you, you know, and she's kind of flirty. And JR, he's like, man, he's like, business. And, you know, she sits up in her captain's chair. Very well. Fine. Business. I turned over some of my steel to Harrison Air. And JR is mad. So, what the hell for? See, she was getting under my skin. And she, and this is the dialogue. I still do own my company. Please don't tell me our relationship has changed. No, of course not. But the fact of the matter is, if I'm going to be your consultant, we are to listen to and honor each other. You don't like doing business and working with women? I find business with women to be fascinating. It's just something you need to know I'm taken by my girl. So Cora sits up in the captain's chair and the conversation continues. You're breaking my heart. Your sister has met your girl, and she says it would be better for you and me to be together. Yeah, like a sheep like a sheep being led by a goat. Now, let's be business partners who listen to and honor each other, and leave it at that. And Cora lays down back on her captain's chair. She says, fine. We keep it that way. Okay, and like this next see this particular character that's entering is Kristen's ex-boyfriend. And let me tell you something. This dude shoots alarm bells as far as I'm concerned. Okay, so it's 1:30 p.m. And Kristen is sitting at the Texas Tech fountain waiting on her father when an ex-boyfriend drops by named Cruz. And he's wearing these baggy grunge jeans and grungy haircut, which says, it says it all. So he gets off his bike. Where's the blank in the box? Yeah, Gerald. Those women that did patrol around the entrances. And we had professors that called them that were kind of improper. Yeah. So she takes a lingering wink. No. He takes a lingering wink and stares at her for the longest time. And Kristen is miffed. Now, Chaz, you're really being very creepy. I thought I told you to put everything between us behind us, Kristen said. And Chaz is like, come on, baby. We mean a lot to each other. Our relationship hasn't changed, Chaz said. Babe, let's go talk about it. And Chris is like, stop being so tense. Okay, this is obvious, okay? This is the Frankenstein moment that no one wants to talk about. It's alive. It's alive. Chaz, you get the bill. Go get schooled, bro. If the girl breaks up with you and you're being creepy, buzz off. And he says, come on, baby. You know I still feel for you. Let's go into Sneed Hall and we'll talk. Okay, so now it's 2 p.m. Meanwhile, as her husband is on the Blake Carter show in Miami, Betsy is returning back to the ranch with Janet with her dress for the Titan Ball in Lubbock. And here's the thing. Janet took her to a prodigious clothing store near the airport. And Betsy's like, So, look, I want to thank you for helping me find this dress, Betsy said. Most of those ladies would be dressing like $1,000,000. But me? If it wasn't for your help, I'd be working $1.50. And Janet's like, nonsense. I'll call you, and maybe we'll have lunch together the day of the ball. Okay, so she just walks out of the ranch house when she gets a call on her cell, and it's from JR, of course. And JR's like, can you tell me what Mama knows about that scholarship in Grandma's honor? And Janet's like, that's up for you to talk to your daddy or Claude, not me or your mama. Now, that's awfully strange, isn't it, JR? Yeah, because Mama said one of the things that she didn't like about Janet was she was too much of a liber independent lady. Okay, so it's 3 p.m. Central. Thomas and Rachel arrive at Aunt Jen's house in Texarkana, Arkansas. Aunt Jen, you remember my fiance, Rachel? And Jen says, you guys come in. Daniel and Nikki, look at the bags, Jen said. We were going to check into a motel, Rachel said. And let me tell you something. Jen, in this case, sounds like almost like Laura Bush. Motel? Nonsense. You belong with us. And Thomas is like, well, we don't want to put you out. And so here comes another character. And Jen says, come on, you guys. You're going to stay. Your Uncle Calvin is looking forward to... Come on, guys. You know you can stay. Your Uncle Calvin is looking forward to seeing you guys. Daniel, their cousin, said, Jera, Daniel was Mama's cousin through Calvin and Jen. And is one of the cousins that Mama was closest to. 5 p.m., Kristen is having dinner with her father, John Haig, and her stepmother, Sally. When along comes Chaz. And of course, it's obvious that Kristen has told her father. And he stands up, stop, young man. And he says, what are your intentions towards my daughter? Chance tightens his belt for his baggy pants to take her away from her current rich boyfriend. And John's like, that is for her to do, and you to buzz off. Don't make me call restaurant security. So, Chaz runs off like a scared little girl. Now, Kristen, at some point, you will introduce your new boyfriend to me. I swear. And Sally's like, John, don't you ever read the newspapers? He's not like all her other boyfriends. Okay, so now it's 8:30. No, it's 6:30 p.m. And of course, we're back in Texarkana. Jim and Calvin are going over the arrangements of the wake of Uncle Jack in St. George Assemblies of Christ in Texarkana, Texas. Thomas, he felt especially close to the Swain side of the family. Could you apologize him? And Thomas is like taken aback. Well, I don't know. And Jen, the only information I knew about him was from Grandma. Uncle Calvin, if you don't mind, I'd like to move your lawn. So it's like Thomas is avoiding the subject. Thomas is wanting to move the subject because he's trying to take responsibility, Power wandered around. And Calvin says, well, go on, boy. Now, Jen, you should know that Jack knew Elizabeth and Jeremy, but not the rest of the family. Suddenly, Nicky pulls up in his ATV. And Jen says, I don't believe you do know Thomas, Jen said. And Nicky's like, oh yeah, the farmer. And Thomas is like, I'm a rancher, not a farmer. Same thing. Nicky, because he's got an attitude. And Thomas is like, well, they're different. Whatever. And Jen, tell Mama I'm joining some friends to grab a burger. And he takes off in the ATV. And Uncle Calvin says, that boy needs a good firm hand. And working on your grandma's ranch. Will be just a thing for him. Okay, so here's what's going on then. 10 p.m. Central. John drops Kristen off at her condo, making sure that she's okay. As soon as she gets inside, she picks up the phone to call JR and nothing. Damn it, JR. Get out of that law library. And guess who is peeping round the side entrances of the condo? Mr. Creeper himself, Chaz. Luckily, I don't think that he is going to be I don't think he's going to be a part of it. Let's see. Okay, so we cut to October 1st, 11 a.m. Central. St. George Assemblies of Christ. The Reverend Frank Bynum delivers the prayer and says a few words of a lunch describing Jack Hannon. Thomas stops by to look at a picture of his grandmother, Elizabeth Swain, because this was the church that she was baptized in 1928. Outside the church, looking in, is John Dustin. Now, I don't know whether this is going to cause any problems, which I hope not. But then again, you never know. 5 minutes into lunch, Nicholas, that's Nicky's real name, gets on his ATV and jets out of there. 1 p.m., back at the fountain. Kristen is sitting at the fountain at the entrance of Texas Tech when along comes Chaz. Told you, I can't stay away. I use searchlights to spy on you all night. You used to be a sweetheart. Now you're just creepy, Kristen said. Now, if you don't leave right now, I'm going to hit you with my cane to your knees. Go! And Chad's like, and your current boyfriend? How long is he going to stay with you? He's such a rich man. Any woman would want him. He'll run away from you. You're digging yourself into a deeper hole. Now get out of here now, Kristen demanded. Your boyfriend, J.R. Hendrick, is a womanizer, a liar, and a loser. And Kristen's like, she's like, you're a punk with baggy pants and a stupid looking, and a stupid sounding bicycle. He's 10 times better than you. Now get out of here. Okay. Jared, when Kristen came back to me, she told me everything. And I had Mike Fields look up Chaz. Turned out he had another girlfriend on the side, and he promised to marry her. Chaz. 1:30 p.m. Jared was able to get out of sports class early, and he has lunch with Claude. And Jared was like, how goes the process of the scholarship in my grandma's name? And Claude said, now, boy, you got a lot of cojones coming to me. Your daddy just barely arrived in New York. I'll speak to him in a couple of days. We all know something. For real. Okay, so it's 1:40 p.m. Back at the mountain, Mike Fields approaches Kristen. If he hadn't left you, I would have called the cops, Mike Fields said. Do you want to ride back to the condo? Jara should be there soon. He must be the closest thing he has right now to his granddad. And I admire that, Kristen said. So, yeah, Mike Fields does take her back to the condo. 1:45 p.m. At Texarkana, Texas, Thomas is mowing the lawn with sunblock on his chest. Why does he have a sunblock? It's October. Well, sometimes it gets a little warm in October. You can get sunburned in all kinds of weather. You're not careful. Let me ask you something. Was that his thing at the ranch, Gerald? Well, sometimes when he's mowing the lawn or out on the tractor, want to take off his shirt to avoid getting too hot. Wasn't afraid of having a can of beer in his hands. Well, we're going to drink Sprite instead of beer. Of course. You know, almost want to, for Kristen's sake, have a friend named Jim Bob, just like you did. And I'm not going to give... There was a movie called Lost in Space that came out in 98. The robot, was talking to this girl. Danger. Yeah. It's like I want to... I'd like us to both say in unison, danger, Kristen, danger. It's like I wanted to tell him, go hang up your own rope. All right. Now, back to Texarkana, sorry. And Aunt Jim says, why don't you stay pushing that mower and don't come, and I'll go get you some ice cold lemonade. This lawn needs to be mowed now. Needs to be done, Thomas said. And along comes Nicky, his ATV, and his attitude. Hey guys, thought I'd drop by to get a quick change of clothes and then go get some milkshakes with some folks at the diner. And Thomas is like, you're going to start working at my ranch. You're going to start by not being such a lazy man, a lazy ass. And Nikki's like, Mother, you gonna let him talk to me that way? And Thomas goes, lose your attitude. What's the big difference? So long as you're going to be around me, it's going to be yes, sir, or yes, ma'am. Do you get that? Yes, sir. And Thomas grabs him and rounds him against the post. Now wisen up. You wish you could stay longer, Aunt Jim said. And Thomas is like, no. We've got to leave for the ranch in a few days. We'd like to take Mickey with us. Have him see a little bit more civilized life. Now, I gotta be honest with you, Jerry. You told me that your mama told you, from Thomas, that Rachel had this icy glare on her face. Rachel had this icy glare and icy voice when she couldn't get what she wanted. Okay, so it's 1:50 p.m. It's in downtown Lubbock. It's the Fort Worth Times office. Brent and Connie emerge from the Lubbock branch of the Fort Worth Times and have a conversation. And Connie says, now, the editor-in-chief wants you to comment on this editorial blurb that is going to come in tomorrow, Connie said. And I expect you and Jesse to be at the Titan Ball Friday night. I don't know. Oh, come on. I favor for a colleague and a friend. Now, at the same time, meanwhile, on 4th Street University, and Lubbock police stopped Chaz for driving erratically on his bike. And so the cop saying, what the hell are you going to do? You're going to get yourself killed. My country bumpkin girl is all gone. All gone. All gone. Police officer friend of mine told me that he was all doped up. 3:50 p.m. Now, this is a scene of Christine, okay? She's in a room. She's very happy because David Morgenthau, her boyfriend, invites her to the Titan Ball in Lubbock. It's a happy couple. Happy couple. 7 p.m. Eastern. Now, at the Waldorf Hotel in New York, Jim is having dinner with Justin Ryder. It's a catfish dinner. And Justin Ryder's like, you drive it long and hard against Bill Clinton. You attacked him on the Blake Carter show. You went after him on the Andrew House show. And tomorrow, you get to be on the Grace Arthur show. for one more time. And Jim's like, well, Phil later, he gave me a bit with the media. He gave me a hit with the media, with Juggler, about me and my family. So I figured I'd strike while my iron is hot. He said, my sources from back in Miami says that his grandfather joined the Swiss Mafia back in 1926. Carried away some German-American money to Geneva for some Swiss bank accounts. And Justin Ryder's like, they can't stop you, especially once you get back to your family. And Jim's like, they got their wish. I'm gone. And I'm going out in style. And Justin Ryder says, when you get back to your ranch, you can strategize about how to hit Clinton the hardest, even after the election. And Jim's like, my father, if he were alive, would say that Bill Clinton was a traitor and the hungry son of a bitch. Okay, so it's 7:40 p.m. Central, and it's obvious it's an Amistar convention, and Elias Grace comes up. In one short month, he moved from ETL to regional coordinator. That means he's earned this month $13,100. Let's hear it for J.R. Hendrick. So see, that's the beauty of it. 10 p.m. Eastern, back at the Waldorf, Jim falls asleep, dreaming of Betsy, longing and crying after his wife. Now, October 3rd, if we can, 7 a.m. at JR's condo, Matilda makes grits for Kristen, and for JR, she makes hard-boiled eggs. 9:30 a.m. in legal practice class, Friedrich McKay begins the discussion. Yesterday, in legal practice lab, you got a chance to look at the case file of State versus Lee. Miss Coleman, if you will, please give us the facts of the case. And, she's given the facts of the case, and then she says, Mr. Hendrick, would you please give us the issues behind the case? And Gerald's like, issue of whether statute of limitations has been breached regarding appellate matter in this case. And Frederick McKay says, good, but slightly off point. He's always, friendly, but critical. Okay, 1:50 p.m. And it's obvious, it's Central. Carmen had just picked up JR from his classes. When the phone rings, it's Claude. And Claude says, even nosing around about that scholarship, huh? Well, I'll talk to your daddy. The scholarship, I talked to your daddy. Your scholarship is set up in memory of your grandma. Happy? And Gerald's like ecstatic. Good. That way, you can stop picking things and making things a tinderbox. Okay. 3 p.m. Central. At the ranch, Betsy has her clothing service servant Dolores do some alterations to her dress for the Titan Ball. And it just is, it's black. It's black with some blue and gold sequins. 5 p.m. Eastern. At the Waldorf Hotel, Jim orders room service dinner for the last time. Meatball marinara sandwich, sour cream and onion chips, and a bottle of Texas beer. 7 p.m. Central. And JR and Kristen talk in his condo. Can't wait for me to get ready for a tuxedo. Betty's Spalding took me to get a dress. Hope you like the pattern, Kristen said. It's beautiful, JR said, kissing her. And Ken thought, I'm not going for the ball, but I'm going to be waiting for you guys. Okay. 8 a.m. Eastern. Jim checks out of the Waldorf Astoria Hotel to, make his way to do some business at LaGuardia. 10 a.m. Central. Betsy loads the car with Christine and David, who are out of school for the day for in-service. They're driving Lubbock. 1 p.m. Central. Betsy, Kristen, David, JR, and Kristen have lunch together at One Guy at Ridley's Pizza. 2 p.m. Eastern. Jim comes up to suite 1004 for his last encounter with President Clinton in 1996. The mood was cordial but hostile, with the president even considering Jim misanthropic. The president reluctantly let him agree to resign in honor because he knew if he described to the rumor that Andrew's house had written in his resignation, it could give him some serious problems in the polls. 4 p.m. Central. Four p.m. Eastern. At the tip of his private jet, Jim gives his last press video as a public official. He gave his aides and some potential for good things for him and his family in the future. And of course, he gave his adios and the good and the potential for good things for his family in the future. So he gives himself an adios. "5 p.m. Most of his dream team are taking flights to other destinations, so Jim was alone on the private jet with Cowboy Joe McDonald. 8 p.m. Central. Okay, so the Titan ball is underway and is Jim's already in there, so Betsy, JR, Kristen, Betsy, JR, Kristen, and Christine, David. And so, Claude walks in there. "Betsy, I got a table with all your friends waiting for you. And a little surprise." And David's like, "I don't know. Something don't seem right." "Stop worrying. Claude and Janet go take care of everything," Gerald says. And Kristen's like all time, "That Dorcas always up to something," Christine said. "Let's just have a drink." And David says, "No, let's just have a dance." So JR makes his way to the drinks counter with Kristen. "Dr. Pepper for myself and Pepsi for the lady," Gerald said. Cora walks up to them. "JR? This is my new boyfriend, Sal," Cora said. Cora, this is my girlfriend and future wife, Kristen, Gerald said. And Kristen's like, Gerald tells me you run a steel company. How do you balance that with school? Well, I have an excellent consultant. Cora said, it's like a wonderful back and forth. She walks away with a boyfriend, with Sal, and Kristen turns to Gerald. She's a lovely young lady. Yeah. Lovely, but unexperienced. Meanwhile, at the table, with friends, Jim slides in next to Betsy. And Betsy's like, Jim, surprised you're here this early. And Jim's like, I'm through with a cold power games back east. And I just want to see how my boy JR is doing. 8:30 p.m. Everyone is in the middle of their dinners when Claude stands up to announce the scholarship in memory of Lady Elizabeth Swain. But it was Jim that would announce the parameters of the scholarships and the winner of 4 worthy students to attend UTPB, University of Texas Permian Basin. And JR's looking, he's grinning ear to ear, and he's like, way to go, Daddy. And scene. I give this 4 root beers, a chance to politely, with my cane, tell Mr. Bullis Chad to buzz off, and $10,000. Jared, I give it 4 root beers, a chance to tell anybody that the man that's bothering my woman, my lady, to buzz off, and a chance to attend the Titan Ball again. All right, guys. Hope you enjoy listening to the J.R. Hendrick Texan Gentleman. If you like what you hear, please subscribe to become a part of the adventure. This is the James Hendrick Empowerment Network saying until next time, get ready for the rest of the story. It's going to get more interesting and bumpy from here.